Chuck Fresh from Fresh and Felicia. Everybody's asking me, what's the deal with these e-bikes? Well, electric bicycles, or e-bikes, are all the rage today. Why? Because battery and electric motor tech has advanced to the point where you can travel like up to 22 miles per hour for 40 to 60 miles. And in some places, people have sold their cars. I'm thinking about doing it too. First and foremost, an e-bike is a bicycle. You can pedal if you want, and you should. That gives you exercise, keeping your muscles moving and your blood pumping. Plus, you're in the sun, not hidden in a car. Sunlight on your skin produces a natural vitamin D, a necessary vitamin most couch jockeys or vampires don't have enough of. And you're helping slow the spread of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Yes, there's CO2 produced when you make electricity, but riding an e-bike produces nowhere near the amount of CO2 a single car will make. Plus, it's totally fun. You see us out on these things all the time. TBH, some folks aren't allowed to drive. People who have lost their driver's license for whatever reason still need a way to get to work. When there's no or limited public transit, an e-bike might be the answer. It might be the only solution for some of these people. So today we're going to take a look at one of our favorite e-bikes, the KBO Breeze Step-Thru. There's also a KBO Breeze that's not a Step-Thru. So what makes a bike a Step-Thru? Well, it's the absence of the top tube in the electric bike frame, or any bike for that matter. It was originally produced for women who were forced to wear dresses while they rode bikes back in the day. It's a true story. So this frame kind of made it easier for people to get on or off by simply stepping through the curved frame of the bike. Step-through bikes are great for older people too who find it difficult to lift their legs. It's also better for delivery people who have to get off and on their bikes frequently because of parcels they carry. So it makes it a little easier. Straight up, I'm basically a pretty manly man and I still prefer the Step-through myself. Battery life. One of the biggest advantages of the KBO bike. This is really cool. It's an in-frame removable 48 volt, 16 amp hour lithium-ion battery using Samsung and LG cells. Why? Because you want a major manufacturer to produce the cells for your lithium-ion batteries because of safety and reliability. There's a lot of crazy things that can happen with batteries, but Samsung and LG has figured all that stuff out. This makes it a 768 watt-hour capacity battery, which gives you from 30-ish up to 55 miles or maybe even more of riding on a single charge, depending on a bunch of things, including how much you pedal, how much you weigh, and the kind of terrain you're riding through. Obviously, a 250-pound Bubba riding up steep hills with throttle only is going to eat a lot more power than a 100-pound Sally pedaling on a flat Florida sidewalk, you know what I mean? So this battery is rated for 900 full charge cycles, and that's all the way from empty to full, and that rarely happens. You shouldn't really do that. We did another video on that. You could legit charge this battery every single day fully for about 3 years, but you won't need to. Even I don't work on weekends or Christmas, you know what I mean? Plus, with KBO's quick and smart 48 volt, 3 amp charger, which comes with the bike, it takes only about 5 hours to fully charge the battery from nothing, which shortens the time between riding for those extra long commutes in the event you do need to charge it up all the way. The motor is very, very nice. It's a 500 watt sustained brushless geared hub motor with up to 750 watts peak power. So this allows you to ride sidewalks, into the wind, uphill, and even on some dirt roads, just like the Breeze. You get it? Like a motorcycle, there's a twist throttle on the right handlebar. You just gently twist the throttle on your right hand to accelerate, and that's it, just like a motorcycle. Shimano, the industry standard in bike gears. This Shimano 7-speed gear shifter allows you to change the gears for adapting to different terrains on demand. So you set it to 1 or 2 to start out when you're pedaling, and then kick it up to 7 when you're at full speed. And when you do need to stop, if you ever need to stop, the disc brake system. These are nice disc brakes with dual 180 millimeter disc rotors can provide sufficient braking force, even in the harshest conditions. I mean, really, the thing stops on a dime, wet or dry. I didn't even need to adjust it out of the box. Plus, there's a cool safety feature. The brake levers automatically cut the power to the motor. So if you're nervous or skeptical at any time, like if you're waiting at a busy intersection, just hold the brake levers and the motor won't work even if you twist the throttle full bore. There's a super strong, solid aluminum, large payload rear rack, which you can carry your groceries with, or your lunchbox, or your pet, or even your kid with the right accessories. And it's included on KBO bikes. Love that. A super bright LED headlight makes riding at night a little safer, allowing vehicles to see you and you to see them. The rear light's also integrated into the rear rack, and it's also a brake light. The brake light lights up when you hit the brakes during your ride, so that's nice. It starts flashing. Plus, the bike seat is sturdy and comfortable. It's a saddle type that reduces the feelings of bump while riding on the road. You can move the saddle up and down and adjust it, make adjustments to And make it fit whatever way you want. Some people like it angled up, angled down, move it forward. You do whatever you want. Honestly, there's an interesting vibration in the standard seat from the motor that I think that even Felicia will definitely appreciate, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like a massage down there, if you get my drift. Heck, even I enjoyed it. The aluminum alloy front suspension fork has 80 millimeters of travel. That's a bunch of movement there. It has a really good damping effect to reduce the feeling of bumps when if you ride on rough roads or dirt roads or jump curbs or whatever. There is no rear suspension on this model, but you can get a seat post that'll do that for you if you need one. It's honestly not too bad without it. 27.5 by 2.4 inch wide tires are super duper high quality, resistant towards punctures or puncture resistant, and they're a bit wider than typical bike tires, which will make your commuting journey a little more steady and smooth and a little safer too. More rubber meeting the ground means less chance of slipping out from under you. This LCD backlit display is where it all happens. Here you'll set and see your battery level, your pedal assist level, where you can set from 0 to 5, your speed, your odometer, and you can even use a trip meter too. You can even hack into the controls. It's all on their website and increase the maximum speed from 22 miles an hour to whatever the motor will do. But honestly, I got to tell you, 22 miles an hour is pretty darn fast on a bicycle. But if you want to get crazy, hey, that's on you. You could probably take it up to 28, maybe even 30. And KBO also includes the full aluminum alloy fenders to protect you from water and mud. And it's a pretty beefy rust-resistant kickstand, too. So the specs, 30 to 55 miles on a full charge, depending on a bunch of different factors. Total payload capacity maxes out at about 300 pounds. That's you and whatever cargo you're carrying, including you and a kid or whatever. Recommended rider heights, you can go all the way from 5'2" to 6'3" on this thing. I'm just about 6 foot and I fit this thing very nicely, but there's a lot of play in the seat so you can raise it up or down. And even our shorter people won't have a problem with this bike. It's a little lighter than some of the competitors. It's 62 pounds, which is surprising. It's got a little bit of girth. You're probably going to need a heavy duty bike stand if you're toting it somewhere. So keep that in mind too. But it's a real nice bike. It does ride like the Breeze, I got to admit, and it's a pretty comfortable ride as well. Give this bad boy a test. It's the KBO Breeze. Fresh and for Lisa, we both give it 2 thumbs up.